Hello everyone, and welcome to another daily Art Hub video. My name is Philip, and today I want to show you how easy and fun it is to make these super cool shadow boxes on your cutting machine. However, before I show you, I want to thank everyone who has liked, subscribed, and left me comments on the videos. The channel is off to an amazing start, and it's all thanks to each and every one of you, and I want to extend my thanks. Please continue to comment about what you think about these projects and what you'd like to see in the future. Also, if you're new, welcome, and please join us by posting a comment, liking this video, and hitting subscribe. I recently did a survey on dailyarthub.com and found that a lot of our users are cutting machine hobbyists, so I wanted to offer more videos and projects for you guys. I personally love crafting on my own Cricut machine, so today I want to show you how to make our new Shadowbox SVG cut files that we have over at Daily Art Hub. They're super simple to make and they turn out totally cool. Let me show you a few of the ones we've released so far. Okay, I just want to show you a couple of these that we do have already listed on our site. Here's a space theme one. We actually have a couple space theme ones. Here's another one that we did, space theme. I have a couple beach style. Here's another beach. It looks really good and using neon colors. Have a couple different fall ones. Also some holiday shadow boxes. For example, ready for Christmas and one for Halloween. Another fall shadow box here. Sort of a cottagecore with a fox on a mushroom. And these are just some we have so far. We're gonna keep making these, keep having them come out on our website, dailyarthub.com, and you'll be able to find more and more of these as time goes on. So always check the section for these. I really think these are super cool, and I'm sure you would agree that they look awesome hanging in your house, given away as gifts, or even selling them online or at craft shows. In fact, I myself am going to be taking all the ones I've made to a local craft show here in the future to try to sell some. I suspect they'll do great because they are so eye-catching. Some of the materials you'll need for the project are double-sided sticky craft foam, like this one here that I found at the dollar store, 8x8 picture frames like these that I picked up super cheap at Michael's, and of course, an assortment of cardstock papers. We designed all these shadow boxes to fit inside an 8x8 shadow box picture frame because it's what we had readily available at our local craft store. However, you can resize these inside your cutting machine software. Also, if you do plan to keep these at 8x8 inches square, you can use 8.5x11 paper. And lastly, I just wanted to let you know that for this project, we're using cardstock paper. Okay, with all that out of the way, let me show you just how fun and easy it is to make these shadow boxes. Okay, first thing is to load up the Shadowbox file into our cutting machine software. I'm using a Cricut cutting machine, so I'm going to start by opening Design Workspace. And then once Design Workspace is open, I'm clicking New Project at the top right. Now we have a new blank canvas and we want to add our Shadowbox file, so I'm going to click over to the left here where it says Upload. Then I'm going to click here where it says Upload Image. Then choose Browse. And then we're going to locate the SVG cut file that you can get from Daily Art Hub, or if you're using a Shadowbox file you created on your own or from somewhere else, choose it now. Once it loads up here, just click Upload in the bottom right, and then on the next screen, you'll see the file is added to your library, along with all your other cut files. And then here in the library, select your file, and then in the bottom right, choose Add to Canvas. Now for me, once my project is in Canvas, I like to select it and pull it as far to the top left as I can. I'm just ensuring that I can fit this on an 8.5x11 size cardstock paper to minimize waste. After that is done, I'm going to click Make It in the top right. Now you can see the project is separated into layers and ready to cut out. I'll just have to go through each of these and tell it that I'm using a mat and also the size of paper I'll be using. Once all that's done, it's ready for me to choose my media, which for me, I'm choosing medium cardstock, and then I'll start going through these layers and cutting them one at a time. Okay, so here I am loading up my mat for the first layer. After loading my cardstock to the mat, I'm gonna move it over to my Cricut machine. At the machine, I'm hitting the load button. The machine will load the mat and the media and get ready for cutting. Once it's fully loaded in my Cricut, next I'm hitting the play button to start the cutting. After a couple of minutes, you can see it's cutting out my first layer of our shadow box.
Then once it's all done cutting, my Cricut machine will flash the unload button. I'll unload the media and then I'll take the fully cut layer over to my workspace. Over at my workspace, I'll carefully remove the cutout layer, going slowly. There are many ways to do this and also available tools to help removing your cuts from the mat, but for me and for this project, just my hands are working fine. Also note on these Shadowbox SVGs that we have over at Daily Art Hub, we've added numbers in the bottom right on all layers except the last layer. This will help you put it together when it's all cut. Okay, so now I'm moving on to cutting the next layer, and once again I'm loading my mat with an 8.5 by 11 cardstock paper. Once that's on the mat, again I'm moving it over to my cutting machine. After it's loaded, we'll start the cutting process and let it cut our next layer. Once it's done, we'll remove it from the machine and remove the cut from the mat. Now at this point, you're gonna rinse and repeat, cutting each layer until all layers are finished. Now that we have all the layers cut, the last thing to do is to assemble them. I like to arrange them in order and then flip it all upside down because we'll be starting with the last page. Don't forget, these are numbered in the corners to help you keep them in the correct order. So let's start with the back page and turn it over onto our workspace. Now I'm going to use our double-sided craft foam and start cutting some pieces. The double-sided craft foam is recommended to use because it's thick and will create space between each layer, giving the finished shadow box added depth. For this size of foam tape, I cut it across first and then I cut the strips in half. You can do this however works best for you, but I like to use 8 pieces of double-sided foam tape per layer, 3 on each the top and bottom, and then I add 1 on each left and right side, making 8 pieces used. Now I'm going to flip over the next layer and carefully stack it onto the double-sided foam tape placed in layer 1. Then I'll repeat adding the foam around the edges as we did in layer 1. 3 pieces on the bottom, 1 on each side, and 3 on the top. We'll continue to build up the layers in this fashion until all layers are complete. Now here I am adding the last layer onto our shadow box. Remember, the final layer is not numbered. We don't number the last layer so that the numbers aren't visible in your finished shadow box. Now the only thing left to do is to add it to our frame, and that's it. The shadow box is done and looks awesome.
Hey, thanks for checking out the tutorial. You can see just how easy and quick it is to make these shadow boxes and also how amazing they turn out in the end. It really is a cool conversation piece, and if you have these in your home, I guarantee people are going to ask you about them. If you want to find the actual files that we used in this tutorial, head over to dailyarthub.com and under categories go to SVG cuts. Also keep in mind that over at dailyarthub.com, we currently have a deal that lets you get everything on our website for one price. This includes everything we have on the website now, plus anything we release in the future. It's a one-time price and you get everything and you never have to pay again. It's a dream come true for cutting machine users as all our graphics are compatible with cutting machines. I'll have a link in the description. So until next time, I want to thank you for viewing and remind you to be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.